Hello, ladies and gents. It's been quite some time, right? Finally, me and Jesse played. And normally after I would win the first ever Hidden Oaks Madden League playoff game, um, I'd already been bragging about it. I would have been making videos. I would have been announcing that said this from the beginning, that I'm going to be the next Hidden Oaks champ. Yada, yada, yada. Same old shit. We've all heard it before, right? I'm the best in the world. We've all heard it. You could probably script my own video for me. The difference between all of those videos and that person that made all those videos is that I'm not facing Jesse. No offense, Jesse. I would like to honor you with Rookie of the Year award come the Mega Bowl, but we'll see. It's not Garlic. It's not Nate. It's not Kyle. It's not Brad. It's Josh Mitchell. Right? I have notes here, by the way. There's no fireworks. There's no pyro. There's no music. There's no anything. This is just purely info that I'm throwing at all six of you. It's Josh Mitchell. He's dominated the Madden scene in the last 3 years, almost 3 years that it's existed between us. Completely crushed everybody. He was champion for 480 days. And more importantly, I've never beaten Josh. Ever. Garlic's beaten him. Nate's beaten him. Bradley has beaten him. And Jesse's came close. But I have never beaten Josh. Ever. There was one time where I could have. I let him win. But I didn't beat him. The score was final and he beat me. I've never beaten Josh. So I'm sure the six of you are all talking amongst yourselves on how this time's not going to be any different. The difference is me. I am different. I've shown that this season. I've shown that if I actually try and if I actually give a shit, well, hey, maybe he just hasn't really cared the last 3 years, which I haven't. It's all been about fun and games. It's all been about videos. It's all been about drama. And this time I figured, hey, what the hell? Josh wants to put together a Madden League. I'm going to try. We'll give it the old college try. Done it twice. And this time I seem to be different to everybody. Even Garlic is saying I'm the best in the world. But the thing about that is, and Garlic knows it best, after a certain amount of time, I just revert back to my old ways. Ain't that right? I fall right back into the same old patterns. So who knows? Maybe I'll get a little Ponder-esque in my game with Josh, and I'll throw a bunch of picks, and I'll get scared, and I'll get anxious, and I'll get shaky. Or I could dominate Josh for once. We'll see. It remains to be seen. But what I think is most interesting about this game between me and Josh is this goes back eons. I mean, this goes back to what, about Nam, right? About 67, 1968. It's been 40-some years in the making. This goes back to me and Josh being in the Alliance. Me and Josh joining up, and I beat Garlic for the claim to be called the best in the world on the 5th of January, 2013. We claimed up, we formed the Alliance, and we dominated almost all of 2013 until we retired on top. Fast forward a few months, and next thing you know, I'm challenging Josh to a game of Best in the World versus Best in the World 2.0. Josh is claiming he's the best in the world. I'm claiming I'm the best in the world. And it's going to happen, and then it doesn't. In its place, we have a Hidden Oaks Madden League created, thus the league being born. And what would fate have but me playing Josh in the Mega Bowl? So this goes way back, and coming back full circle to my original point, what's interesting about it is that this whole season has been almost, if not exactly, evenly split down the center between Josh and myself. Josh, 6-2, final record. Jordan, 6-2, final record. Josh leading the rushing yards of the entire league. Jordan leading the passing yards of the entire league. Takeaways? How many times did they force turnovers? Exactly tied at 40. I mean, you don't get any more even than that. I allowed less yards. I had a better defense than Josh the entire season. he allowed less takeaways. Theoretically, he didn't put up as many yards, but he had a more consistent offense. He threw less picks and allowed less fumbles than I did the entire season, both by a fairly good margin. I allowed less yards than him by a fairly good margin. He allowed less takeaways than me by a fairly good margin. That's interesting. It's interesting to look at because Josh has always been known for his defense, and I've always been known for my offense. And you can take a look at the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 40, whatever it was last year, 45 maybe. Who won? The defense. You had the most dominating offense the entire season in the Denver Broncos, and it didn't mean shit against the most dominating defense, the Seattle Seahawks. Josh is known for his defense, and I have no doubts that his defense is going to show up on November 2nd at the Hidden Oaks Mega Bowl, first one ever. But it's just interesting. It's interesting to look at. It's interesting to think about. It's interesting to look forward to. And I'm getting a little winded here, so let's wrap this up. I'm just going to let you know. Let me just make sure the video's still going. Still rolling here. Here's my plan, Josh. Okay? I'm going to give it to you just word by word here. I'm going to play a defensive game. I'm going to focus mostly on defense and keeping your offense at bay. I'm going to try to have a better defense than you. Secondly, my offense won't be deterred. So if I happen to throw a pick and I start to get a little Ponder-esque in my game, I won't be deterred. I'll change up whatever play I've been using. I'll change up the plays I've been using and look at a different way to move the ball down the field. Third, I will be keeping many options open. Every play I will make sure I have 3 options I can quickly scan and throw to. Something I've never been good in the past. However, this year is exactly what I've done in every single game I played. I keep 2 to 3 options open, and I can scan them quick enough to be able to make the decision on the fly and score. I'm essentially running the triple option by passing. And lastly, I might just run the triple option a time or two. I'm not the best at it. Jesse definitely shut it down in that game that got shut down by the Xbox One. But I've had some success with it in practice, if that counts for anything. So that's my exact step-by-step and word-for-word plan. That's what you're getting on November 2nd in the Mega Bowl. You can plan for that. You can prepare, do whatever you got to do. I probably won't play Madden between now and then. I didn't play Madden between the last time me and Jesse played and when we played the other day. I feel like I know what I'm doing. I feel like I practiced a lot in the earlier part of the season. I'm looking forward to facing you, Josh. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the Mega Bowl. Kyle, Brad, Nate, Garlic, Jesse, and of course my opponent, Josh Mitchell. I'm out of breath. This has been a PSA from your captain of the nation, Jordan Bates. We'll see you in 18 days.